Yo, what's up, everybody? This is me, Essexj, with the Essexj Project. Decided to go live this evening or this late afternoon or tonight, however you want to put it. So Saturday night, it's day one still for me, right? But you know what? Definitely let's talk about a topic that's more so positive. We got to be able to move forward past the guilt, how we necessarily feel. What I mean by moving forward past the guilt, and I'm going to hop right into it, is simply some of us, if not all of us, too many of us, right? We necessarily feel guilty about the things that we're wanting to do. Not even the things that we're doing, but the things that we want to do. How many of you feel guilty about the things that you really want to do? You know what? I feel guilty about the fact that I want to go to the movies with somebody tonight. I feel guilty about the fact that I went and sat down and had dinner with someone last night. I feel guilty about the fact that I may be texting someone else. I feel guilty about the fact of moving on with my life. I feel guilty about the fact that I'm finding happiness in an individual who's not even innocent in my sorrow and my pain and my disbelief and all of my agony that I've been through. I feel guilty about the good things in life because of how much I love them. And I know that because I'm moving on, and I know that because I'm moving forward, and I know that I'm not looking back anymore, and I know that happiness is in my horizon, for some odd reason, as crazy as it sounds, I feel guilty about being happy now. I feel guilty about truthfully finding something more than just a fuck buddy. I feel guilty about being more than just a dick pic random every once in a while to appease their attention and to make them feel good, or to be able to go back and brag to their friends about how long the dingaling is. I actually feel guilty about having some self-pride, some self-esteem, and some confidence. I felt bad telling them the other night that no, I'm not going to come over. I felt bad because you know what? I didn't pull out my dick and stick it in like I normally do, because I got some morals and I got some values and some shit that changed in my life, and I didn't decided to stand up and be a little bit more than what I've always been before in the past. So you know what's crazy is that I can't feel guilty no more because it's time to move forward. And that's the reason why I made the post that I made on my Facebook page. If you're not following me, go to Essexj Jamil Alexander Facebook, aka Essexj Project. And I made this post, and this post says, how can you feel guilty when they're not even innocent? And what I mean by that is that they weren't the ones that were fighting for you to make the relationship last. You know, when they decided to cheat on you and you guys went through these months of going back and forth, and finally we realizing that the relationship wouldn't be able to sustain with positivity, there was nothing but negativity, it was nothing but anger, it was nothing but problems and issues, and finally you guys decided to separate, and finally you decided to have something more. And guess what? The minute that you start having more, a part of you, if not all of you, but a lot of you, are starting to feel guilty about having something more. Now I get it. The outside eye looking in, you don't understand that concept. The fuck is she feeling guilty about being happy for? That's fucking crazy, Essexj. But the reality of it is that a part of us, we feel that way. The reason why a part of us feels that way is because we know how that person has necessarily felt about us. We know what we've done with this individual. We know how we've made love with that person. And we know what that person knows, what we're capable of doing. We absolutely know that she knows that Essexj got some good dick. Right? How I handle it at night, how I hold her, how I cuddle her, how I grind, how I pump it, how I thrust it, how I wake up and how I cook breakfast, how I hold her face and how I kiss her forehead, and how I do all the amazing things that the best fucking man in her life would have ever done for her. But she didn't even appreciate that shit. She slipped up and she showed me some shit tonight, y'all. She showed me some shit, and she showed me that, you know what? I'm not exclusive like I thought I was. She showed me that I'm not the only one that's getting what I thought I was getting. Ain't that some shit? So because I decided to move on and I decided to be happy, I was battling this feeling of being guilty for my actions. Like, you know, when I wanted to start talking to somebody new, and I knew that she was over there kind of fucked up about the whole situation because she never thought that she would lose me. She never thought that she would get caught. She never thought that 1 + 1 would equal 2 to me as quick as it did. That when I just start adding up all the little shit, it equaled to a whole lot of bullshit that was going on behind the scenes. She never thought that I would be able to see it. And then when I finally saw it for what it was, and I woke up and I decided to move forward in life, Because remember, we're done venting now about all the negativity. Now we can talk about this with a positive outtake, right? With a positive outlook. We can talk about this because we're moving forward. And right now we're telling you what happened back then, but we're not looking back then. We're looking forward to the blessings in our horizon about how things are going to be. How these relationships, how this love, how this friendship, how this business, how this entrepreneurialism, you know what, how college is going. Girl, I know you rocking them grades, yo, homie. I know you getting that degree and everything's going the way that it's supposed to go. But have you ever felt guilty about your success because you're the one who made it and everybody else that you grew up with, they're still sitting around not doing shit and they looking at you with an attitude because you're doing something and the part of you starts feeling kind of bad because you're finally fucking making it. Right? Or better yet, when you're around a whole bunch of coworkers at work and everybody's always talking about the fucking boss and how they not shit and blah, 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 blah. And then one day the executives come to you and they knock on your door and they tell you, hey, you, we noticed that you're not with the in crowd. We noticed that you're consistent. We know that you're always on time. You're at work and you do your job really good. You're the new boss now. So now everything that them fuckers was talking about, they're going to say about you. And now you're starting to feel guilty about your success. You don't even want to tell anybody about the promotion because you're afraid of what they're going to say and how they're going to react to you, right? Or better yet, what if you was in a relationship or you're in a commitment or a bond or a marriage or the fucking, I don't know, whatever the hell you want to call it, but you was in a situationship and when you go home, you got really great news, but you feel guilty about sharing your great news because your partner and your spouse has done absolutely fucking nothing to survive or succeed or to elevate themselves. And because you didn't let that hold you back and you decided to be more than what you would have ever thought that you would have ever been, you feel guilty about going and speaking to them and telling their ass that, yo, man, I got a promotion today, babe. And you looking them in the eye, and you're like, babe, I got a promotion today. Because remember, you're moving forward. You're not going to let nothing stop you. Not him, not her. You're moving forward. And when you moved forward, they're still sitting there. So I just wanted to tell you guys that day one tonight, while it still exists, it's about moving forward. And I don't want you to slow down. I don't want you to feel guilty when they're not innocent. It's not your fault that he didn't get up and apply himself. Brother, it's not your fault that she didn't get up and look for a job. Brother, it's not your fault that she felt like her looks was going to last forever and they didn't. And she didn't really have anything else to offer. So don't feel guilty when they're not innocent. Because see, they preyed upon certain things on you in life. They preyed upon your innocence. They preyed upon your gullibleness. They preyed upon your fear. They preyed upon your love. They preyed upon your low self-esteem and everything else. And when you decided to pay forward, move forward, when you decided to progress and to be more than what you ever would have thought you could have ever been, when you decided to be the best that you can be in all of this good fortune and fame and money, education, and entrepreneurism, the business, the scholarships, when the funding, the grants, everything is finally coming through the way that it's supposed to, and you start to realize that friends, family, loved ones, co-workers, they're still stagnant in the position that they're in and nobody's fucking doing anything, guess what? Don't feel guilty when they're not even innocent. Don't feel guilty when they are doing nothing to keep you and you decide to leave. Don't feel guilty if you let somebody else entertain you because they've yet to even acknowledge you. Don't feel guilty when you make that choice that day or that night, that moment, that second, that hour, that week, that month. It doesn't matter. Don't feel guilty because they've showed you things that they would have never imagined showing you. And because now that you see it for what it is, now you can acknowledge it for what it's truthfully worth. You've decided to make a business move. You decided to make an executive decision, and you've decided to know and understand just how fucking beautiful you are. You know what? You know how smart you are. You know how sexy you are. Brother, you know how handsome you are. You know what the fuck you worth. You know how strong your back is. You know how good your looks are. And now you're really truthfully starting to sense and smell and take in the confidence that's always been there, but you can never see it before. See, baby, every morning I'm watching you on your smartwatch, right? You're putting your smartwatch on Facebook and you like, yeah, 840 calories. You running every morning. And now that you're starting to see that shape appear, that can nobody else never see, but you saw it in yourself When you looked in the mirror, you didn't see what everybody else saw. You saw the dedication it was going to take in order to become who you really wanted to become. You see the overcoming the health. You saw the overcoming the bad habits. You saw the quitting the smoking, and you saw quit drinking, and you saw quit giving yourself out and quit fornicating unnecessarily. You saw stop, putting yourself out there and trying to pornograph yourself and do all of these negative things. But at the end of the day, you saw yourself worth so much more than what anybody else could have ever saw. And now that you see the bigger picture because you decided to pay it forward, I don't want you to feel guilty because they're not innocent. I want you to feel right about your choices. I want you to understand your choices. I want you to be proud and confident about your choices. And I want you to continue to make the right choices. I want you to be patient. I want you to be smart. I want you to be wise. And I want you to be understanding about everything that you're doing. I don't want you to do anything out of anger. I don't want you to do anything out of spite. I don't want you to do anything out of revenge. And I don't want you to do anything to get somebody back. Every choice that you make for you needs to be a choice to embetter you and who you really want to be. It needs to be a choice about the future. It needs to be a choice for these children. It needs to be a choice for your dreams. Fuck them. They're done. They're over with. Remember, we're not talking about them no more. We're not going to vent over them no more. We're not going to cry over them no more because, remember, we should never feel guilty about anything that we choose going forward, especially when they're not even innocent themselves. Y'all have a blessed night. Thank you guys for logging in, for watching me, Essexj with the Essexj Project. Make sure you go follow me. Make sure you support me, Essexj, the Essexj Project, Snapchat, Essexj Project 1, Instagram, Essexj Project. And make sure that you take care of your mind, your body, and your soul. I love every single one of you guys. Good night, all right?